All right. So, so today we are going to discuss about operators, JS operators, operators.js, operators.html. Type HTML, JS, operators, and let me add the script tag JS slash operators.js. Right. So in JavaScript, the operators are classified based on the type of the operation and based on the number of operands that we are going to use. Okay. In JavaScript, the operators are oops, classified into two categories based on type of the operation and number of operands. Okay, so I'm going to categorize the first thing. I think classified into two sections. It's better to into different categories. Let's make this to be. I just want to make only for the first case type of the operation. So here you can find one is arithmetic operation, arithmetic operations, logical operations. Okay, arithmetic operations, logical operations. Um, what other things we have? Relation, relational operations. Okay, let us make this to be the second one is relational operations. Relational operations, and this one is arithmetic operations. Sorry, logical. And fourth one is arithmetical operations, relational operations, logical operations, bitwise operations. Okay, string operation, string operator, string operator. What was shift operator? Shift operator, string operation, string operators, and what we have other thing is comma operator. Okay, conditional operator, iterator operator, etc., etc. Let us find out the categories here. And one more thing I want to add. The tenth one is assignment operator. assignment operator, right? Now what I'm going to do here in this case, so in case of arithmetic operators, you'll find something like sub, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, okay, and modulus. Modulus is going to perform the same operation like division only, but it will return the remainder. Likewise, relational operations. So sometimes the relational operators we call it as comparison operators also. Okay. So in this case, you will find greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Okay. Uh, double equal to. That means this is equal to, and triple equal to. This is called strict equal here. Okay. These are called relational operators. Okay, and coming to the logical operators, we have, I can say this is bitewise logical operators. This is more sense now. Bitewise and bitwise logical operators. Now you can see double and operation, OR operation, and NOT operation. Okay, here in this case you will find AND or OR. These are the bitwise logical operations. Coming to the shift operations, so that you can shift a value by n bits. Okay, shift operators will be something like double greater than, right shift, left shift. Okay, and a plus operator is also referred as a string operator here. Okay, generally that is used for concatenation, string concatenation operator. And a comma operator is there, which is used in objects, okay, and arrays. And the conditional operator, now you can see question mark and colon, iterator operator, plus plus, minus minus, assignment operator, that is equal to operator, simple single equal to operator. Anything I forgot? Right, so these are the different kinds of operators. Okay, the operators are also uh, classified based on the number of operands. The JS operators are also classified into the JS operators are also classified into uh, classified based on number of operands, so that you can find something like um, binary operator, sorry, unary operator. Second one, binary operator. Third one, ternary operator. These are the three different types of operators. In this case, unary operator means only single operand to be there. Okay. So if you take a plus operator, the plus requires two variables, right? So all operators are binary except plus plus operator, minus minus operator, not operator, and ternary operator, that is a conditional operator, I can say. question mark and colon. Okay, so except these operators, remaining are the binary operator. Why? Because the operation requires at least two operands. Okay, unary operator means now plus plus, so that I plus plus. So we are using only I value here. I'll explain what is a I plus plus, all these things later on. So for the time being, just take plus plus, minus minus, and semicolon. And ternary operator is, sorry, exclamation mark, not semicolon. Okay, and this is conditional operators, not ternary operator. Why? Because this requires three operands. Okay, let's start with the first one. I'll go with the arithmetic operator. So for this, what I'm going to do, just take your document.write method in order to showcase your output. So what I'm going to do, I just take a H2 tag. Let me mark arithmetic operator. So let us mark it inside a mark tag. Now let us open this one. Now first of all, go for this and open in the browser. Now I got some arithmetic operator heading now. Now I just want to perform some arithmetic operations now. So what I'm going to do, I just take two variables, x and y values. So I'll take numbers now for the time being. Later I'm going to change 9 and 8. So what I'm going to do, just add these two things. The first one, addition. Okay, arithmetic operators case. So write off. Uh, what I can say, 1 second please. Right. So document.write. Inside this, what I'm going to do, I just want to perform some addition between the two values. So I can write something like x plus yr. I can take x plus, I can just plus over here, y equal to something like this. X plus y. Right. I hope this is fine now. Now let's save this. I just evaluating the variable x value. That means 9 plus 8 is equal to something, the addition of these two things. Okay, so almost 17 I will get. Let's check this out. Now I got a 9 plus 8 equal to 17. That's fine, right? Let me add. That is good. Likewise, perform all the values for the time being. For all these cases, I'm going to write 2, 3, 4. I think we need to take this one as a minus subtraction, this to be multiplication, and this to be okay division, and this to be modulus. Totally we have 5 arithmetic operators are there. Now let's see what would be the result now. Oops, this is not good. I just want to add some BR statement for the first. Let me do this in different manner. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. So 9 plus 8 is equal to 17. 9 minus 8 is equal to 1. Multiplication of 9 into 8 is 72. 9 by 8, I got a floating value, point value, and the modulus value is 1, something like that. That is fine. Okay. Now, what happens if I provide a, what do you call? So, one thing I want to mention here is uh, this is the way I have added the BR tag is called multi-line editing in Sublime Text Editor IDE. So that you see, I just want to change instead of write, I want to change it to something else. So first select the common word, what you are going to select, okay, what you are going to change. For example, I would just want to change WRI, okay, as on WR, okay, just WR and hold control button and press D, again press D and press D. So hold your control button, press D as many times as you want. That means based on the number of values that you want to change. Okay, now you can see you got a big cursor now. You can change this now by using left and right arrows and remaining all your regular operators. You can change it. Now instead of that, I want to change this to be R. Okay, see, this is called multi-line editing. This in this way the same with the same way I just added the BR tag in all the lines at the same time. Okay, the shortcut is press Control plus D. By using this, you can select similar items in multiple lines. After that, you can edit it. Okay, now that's fine. So now what happens if I provide a non-numeric values? By the way, I want to do something else. So I just want to take 9 and 0. Okay. So generally, what would be the result for this case? Okay, one second. So if I in JavaScript, if you perform 9 by 0, we are able to represent the infinity value, so the output will be infinity without producing any error now. I can see infinity. Got it? And let us see 9 plus 0 is 9, 9 minus 0 is 9, 9 into 0 equal to 0, 9 divided by 0. So it's trying to get the remainder of what do you call this operation 0 in bracket and 9, and it's actually it should be a 0, but it's showing a nan operation in this case. Okay, now what happens if I give two characters here instead of numbers? If I give two characters, something like mm, H, and this would be I. Okay, when I perform, if I take H and I, what should be the result here? Okay. Mm, okay. Now what happens if I take X and Y values as characters? What should be the result of these arithmetic operations? So in this case, the both side operation, what do we call operands of the plus operator is characters, right? So now the plus operator will work as a concatenate operator, string concatenator, so that it will join these two values, hi. And for the case of subtraction, h minus I, no such kind of what do you call in this case x minus y. There is no such operation minus operators on characters. So we can expect a nan value, not a number. I already explained how the nan is going to be generated, right? Okay, in what fashion? So if you're trying to perform a what do you call a if you are trying to apply mathematical rules on characters, something like that, you will find a nan value. Similarly, for the multiplication also, this would be result h into I, no value. Similarly, this should be a nan. This should be a nan. Let's see whether our results are correct or not. Except h plus I, remaining all operations are nan. That means what I'm trying to say, all arithmetic operation will produce a nan value except the plus operators on character values, character constants. Remember this one. Only plus operators is the valid operator now for the case of character values. Hope you understand this one. The next one is relational operators. Anything left in this case? Relational operators. Now let's take these two values again. Instead of this, I'm going to take some 9 and 8. Okay, just here I'm performing a relational operator, so it's very simple. Okay, now take this one. How many relational operators are there? Total 6 relational operators are there. Now the first one is greater than, second one should be less than, this is greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, equal to, triple equal to, this is what you can call strict, equal to, equal to, something like that. Okay, now that's fine. Yeah, refresh the page. I got a relational operators. Now you can see 9 greater than 8. Yeah, it's true. It's returning a Boolean true value as a string. Okay, it's returning Boolean true value. No, it's true. 9 less than 8. It's a false. It's okay now. 9 greater than or equal to 8. That is also true. This is false. Why? Because uh, greater than or equal to. So 9 is greater than 8. Always true. And for this case, you can take this one. 9 and 8 is equal to false. Okay, both are not equal, that is fine. This is simple equal to. This is called strict equal to. That is the difference between the strict equal to and equal to is it will check for value, not for data type. Whereas it will check both value and data type. Got it? That is what is called relational operators. Sorry, strict equal to and double equal to and triple equal to. Okay, now let me take both values 9 and 9. Now what should be the result here? 9 greater than 9, false. 9 less than 9, false. 9 equal to 9, that means 9 greater than or equal to 9, yes. 9 less than or equal to 9, yes, true. Why? Because we have the true equal symbol is there. That is why it's showing a true. And you have something called double equal to, it's true, that's fine. Now, what happens if I take mm, a quoted string, quoted 9? This is what we can call um, string numeric, I can say. String numeric. I'm going to represent the numbers, okay, within quotations. So I can say this is a string numeric. Now, what should be the result here? Now I can check for this one. In 9, here it's just representing 9. 9 greater than 9 false. Well, actually, it should be quoted 9. Okay. So in this case, I want to discuss something here. I have taken a string value and a numeric value. Whenever I come to this particular kind of expression, uh, this the same discussion applies to this. What do you call arithmetic operators also. Now let's see. Here, one number is 9. The right hand side number is 9, which is a number. Okay. The left hand side number is it's not a number, it's a string numeric. So the JavaScript is going to convert either one of these values into a string or a number. Okay. So in this case, uh, you can see in this case, y is a number and greater than is an operator which is only works on numbers only, right? So it won't works on strings. So for this reason, JavaScript is going to convert this new string numeric into a number 9. So once it converted both values as 9 and sorry numerics, then only it apply the greater than symbol. And such kind of conversion from string to numeric is going to be happen implicitly. Okay, internally the JavaScript can do or it's going to handle such kind of things. No need to bother about those things. Okay, that is what we can call typecasting in other languages. Okay, but here we have implicit typecasting is there in JavaScript. No need to bother about whether the type is properly placed or not, something like that. And you can see it's saying that equal to true. Now let's take these two values things. One is showing as a true, the second one is false. Okay, I told you that equal to symbol, that means double equal to symbol will check for only value. So the value is 9. In this case, here also it's a 9, right? But the data type is this is string, this is number. So double equal to won't check for the data type. It will look after the values only. So that is why it's returning true value here. Whereas coming to the strict equal to, it will check for both value as well as data type. So if any one of these fails, then it will return false statement. So for the data type, for the case of data type, this is string and this is a number. So in this case, both are not equal. That is why the strict equal to is false. So in our application, we always make use of this triple equal to. Why? Because we are comparing the two values. So obviously, not the values. We want it to be similar in data type also. So always we use the strict equal to instead of double equal to, right? So that is relational operators. The next one is logical operators, bytewise logical operators. Logical operators. Now let's take this one. And I'm going to perform something like an AND operation. Double AND. For bytewise logical operation, you need to use double AND. Okay. And the last is not operator. You can make use of this X not. So single, it's a unary operator. So I just want a single value. Okay, I don't want more. Not of X. Well, you can take this one. not of x is equal to, we'll perform this one and we'll close the page. This is logical operator. Now you can find this one. Now let's see, in this case, sorry for this case. We need to take in terms of Boolean values generally for the bytewise operations. True and false I have taken. So if any one of the value is false in case of AND operation, the result will be a false. Otherwise, it will be true. If any one of the value is true in case of OR operator, then the result will be a true. Otherwise, it will be false. And the NOT operator is going to complement the result, complement the input what we are going to give. Okay. Now in this case, what I'm going to do, this is fine for this particular thing. Now what happens if I give a quoted string, quotations? Now, can anybody uh, predict this kind of, or what would be the result for these cases? Let's take 10 seconds time, okay, and predict what should be the result here. Okay then. So here the result will be, I can expect this will be true, and this will be true, this will be false. Okay, this is also always false. Now why? Because I'm operating on x only. So why this is true? I have given a false here. You know, already in the last class related to the variables and data types, I specified something called fancy values. Okay, so a boolean false, an empty string, something like we have given like this. These are called as fancy values. So other than these values, remaining are true the values. So here this is a string, not a boolean value. This is a string. So this is not an empty string. So this will result a true value now. So this is true and this is true. I will get a value of true in this case. Of course, by the way, for this logical OR operator, this will produce the same result. Why? Because if any one of the result is true, the result will be true. And one important point related to this particular bitewise logical operator is bitewise. If any one of the operand is false, for example, JavaScript is going to evaluate the expression from right to left side, assuming that. If uh, if y is false in case of AND operators, now JavaScript won't look for the x value. Why? Because if one value of the AND operator is false, the result will be false. So blindly it will produce a false output. It won't look after the x value. If this is true, then only it will go for x value and check further whether it is a true or false. Hope you understand. Similarly, in case of true logical or operators, if the right hand side operator is true value, then blindly it will produce an output true value. Got it? That's fine. So now you can see that. For the first case, I got false value. Oops, something went wrong. Let me check. I'm extremely sorry about this. Unfortunately, what happened is the Boolean value. So here it's going to return X value is true now, right? It's a true, and this is a false, quoted false. Okay, false. So I thought that this will be a non-numeric. Sorry, it's not a false value. It's a true value. Yeah, it's true. It's a true value. But unfortunately, what happened is the left-hand side operator is a Boolean value. So obviously, your AND operator is trying to convert this as a uh, what do you call Boolean value. So might be in this case, this will result a false value. Okay, that is why the result is showing a false always in this case. I was wrong in this case. Okay, but most of the cases, this will taken as a true value. It was a true one. So a small change here. I was wrong here. You know, I have taken true and false. I told you that JavaScript is going to execute from right side to left direction. That is in the case of C language, but in JavaScript is going to evaluate the expression from left to right. You can see such kind of behavior in this expression now. You know that I have given a true value in this expression. This is a true, and the latter one is a false value. Okay, sorry, string quoted false value. Now, what is happening is while evaluating the expression, the first occurrence of the variable is a Boolean value. Okay, so it thought that the second value to be a Boolean value in order to evaluate the expression. So for this case, what is happening here is this false is also the quoted false is also converted as a Boolean false. So in this case, x true and false, the result will be false. That's fine now. Now what happens if I interchange the order of operators? First I have taken y, then I have taken x. Now what is the value of y here? It is a string, right? It's a string. So whenever JavaScript finds a quoted string inside a logical operator, that it will be written it as a converted it as a Boolean value true, and the next occurrence of the variable will be false. Oh, sorry, true in this case. So this is true and this is true. Now what should be the result? It's true. So that is why I'm getting a true here. So because of execution flow, that means from left side to right side, because of that it's going to produce some output here. Sorry, according to that, the output is going to change here. That is about the logical operators. So one important weird thing related to the logical operators is what happens if I take value 9 numbers instead of Boolean true and false values. I have taken 9 and 8 values here. What should be the result here? I can see I got a 9 and 8. I'm getting a 9. I'm not getting true or false. The result is not true or false. I'm getting numbers. Any reason? The reason is, why 9? See, I told you already, if you look after this, except these values, remaining all are true the values. That means 9 and 8 are also both are true. Non-zero numbers are referred as the true values. Okay, so true and true, the result to be true. But I'm getting 9 is a true, 8 is a true, so the result to be a true. But I'm getting 9 instead of true, right? So why 9? Why it's not 8? The reason is I told you already in logical bitewise operations, bitewise logical operations, if any one of the value is true in case of AND operator, See, I told you the execution will be from left to right side, right? So in this case, the first occurrence is 9. So it will place in a buffer. Let us assume buffer. Buffer is the storage inside the RAM memory. Now you can see 9. Okay. So in this case, under operator, if 9, I told you already, this is a true the value, right? So in case of under operator, if it finds a true value, it will blindly produce a result of true here. But instead of true, it returning the buffer value here. It won't look after this 8 value. Why? Because if one value of the logical operator is true, the result is a, in case of a logical AND operator is true, the result is a true value. Sorry. Something on weird thing. So in this case, let us assume uh, from left to right, in this case, in this kind of expression, the first AND operator, the first value is 8. Okay. So this is true, right? That will be placed inside the buffer. If one value is true, now the AND operator need to check for the other value also. Okay. Why? Because if both are true, then only it will place true as a result. And the next, while checking for the next value, it is also true, right? So both are true. But this will be written. Why? Because this will be hold in the buffer finally. Okay. So here the a small confusion got arises. It's properly. mm, Let us, for the time being, we'll assume that the JavaScript is going to evaluate the expression from right to left. Okay, just like a C language. So we'll take like this. So in this case, the first one is true value. For the case of AND operation, definitely it has to look after the second value. Why? Because if one value is true, the AND operator need to check for the second value also. Okay. Likewise, in case of OR operators, why 9? It's kind of producing a weird result here. One second. Here I got a small fault here. Uh, so the expression, while evaluating the expression, I changed the order of variables. So let me take this to be x and y. Right? Now refresh the page. Now you can see. Right now, I was confused here, but anyway, now it was clear. The JavaScript is evaluate the expression from left to right. Okay, and in case of AND operator, if the first value is true, then it will look after the next one. I'm sorry, second one. Okay, then this is also true. Then the result will be that value will be showed as a result. That means finally it is represented that it is a true value. In case of OR operator, if any one of the value is zero, sorry, if any one of the operand value is uh, non-zero, okay, it won't look after the second operand. Why? Because if any one of the two values in case of OR operator is true, then the result will be true only. So this is going to be written as an output. So that is why we're getting a 9 here. So what happens if I give some 0 here? Now you can see, first it check for the 9, okay, and then it will check for the 0. The final value that is checked by the JavaScript is 0, so that will be result 0. Why? Because if any one of the operand is 0, then the result will be 0 in case of AND operation. Similarly, in case of OR operator, I told you already, if any one of the operand is true, then it won't look after the second value. So directly it will push the first value only. Why? Because if one value is true, the result will be true. That is very important thing that you need to look for your bitewise logical operators. Similarly, we look for the bitwise logical operators. Bitwise logical operators are something like, you know, we will take this to be 8. You need to use single AND operators. And I don't want to go for this OR operator. Why? Because both are same. Now you can see in this case I'm getting 9 and 8. The result is 8. That is fine. 9 and 8. The result is 9. Just like the same behavior what we got in case of bytewise operators, right? Both are same. But sorry. But what happens if I give 21 here? 21, 22. Here also 21 and 22. Say I'm getting 22, 22. That means either of these two values will be a result of these cases, AND operation and OR operation. Whereas coming to the bitwise operations, you can find some other values other than these 21 and 22. Of course, these might be there or may not be, but I got 20 and 23. Why? What would be the reason? The reason is this is a bitwise operations. Bitwise operation in the sense, you take a box here, two, three. How many values are there? One, two, three, four, one. So this is one byte. I'm going to take another byte. Okay, right. So 21. How you are going to represent the 21 here? The first value I'm going to take 21 in binary number. So 21 in binary. Let us make this to be 1. This is 0, 0, 0, and 2 to be 0, 1, 0, 0. Right? 21 and 22 will be 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. Now perform AND operation between each and every bit. Okay. So after that I will get AND operation. This will be 0, 1 and 0 is 0, 0 and 1, 0, likewise 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. Now what is the result? It is 2, it is 0. I got 20, right? It's valid. Similarly, if you perform OR operation, instead of AND operation, use OR operation. Something like that, OR operation. So 1 and with 0, 1, 0 and with, sorry, 1 OR with 0, 1, 0 OR with 1, 1, remaining 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. Now what would be the result here? This is 2, this is 3, right? I got 23. Hope you understand. So in case of bitwise operators, every bit in the value will be performed, will be taken inside the operation. Okay. So you may expect a different values in case of bitwise operations. Hope you understand the bitwise operations. Okay. And assignment operator is something like equal to, not equal to, it's not comparison. We are trying to assign the right hand side value to left hand side, something like y x equal to y. That means the value of y will be placed into x. Likewise, we have a string concatenate operator. Already we have seen how this string operator is going to work. We will see the comma operator in case of objects and arrays, and we'll look after this ternary operator and increment and decrement operators. We have something called increment and decrement operators. What was that? Iterator operators. Okay, iterator operator. So I just taken something and take this one. I want to perform something like x plus plus and y plus plus. Sorry, not y plus plus. I don't want this stuff now. X plus plus. X plus plus is equal to X plus plus. Okay, I have taken this one. I'm going to take this one and place this one. Uh, there are two kinds of, this is called increment operator. Okay, plus plus operator is called increment operator, and this is a unary operator. Unary operator in the sense it will take only single value. Okay, and this operator can be applied after the variable or before the variable. Then it is referred as, if this is the case after the variable, then it is called post increment. If this is the case, pre increment, post increment and pre increment. Now refresh the page here. Observe the result. Now you can see post increment in the sense, first the value will be printed. Why? Because if you use x plus plus operators inside any printing statement, okay. Now what will happen is, instead of printing 22, actually this is the increment operator. The value will be incremented to 22, but it's a post increment. That means the operation will be performed after the printing the output. Okay, so x plus plus means first it will print the 21, then it is incremented to 22. So the result will be only 21 in this case. Whereas in case of plus plus x means it is a pre-increment. So the value will be increment before it is going to be executed by this particular document.write function, or before it is going to be printed. So already the value is updated to 22. So plus plus x means it will be 23. 23. Likewise, we have post increment and pre decrement. Sorry, post decrement is there, pre decrement is there. Refresh the page. See, post decrement. See, finally I got. Sorry, this to be minus minus. I got something 23 and 21. Okay, so that is incremental operators now, iterator operators. Last but not least, I'm going to use conditional operators. Conditional operators are ternary operator, or it is referred as the conditional operator, which will take three values now. Something I'm going to take like this. Ternary operator. So it requires three values. Now you can see how the ternary operator value will perform. Now you can see, I can write the evaluation first. Where z is equal to, okay, x greater than y, then ternary operator I'm going to use a question mark. Then I'm going to print something called, just I print x, I'll get x value, otherwise y value. Now you can see, if x is greater than y, then the result will be x. Otherwise, the result will be y. Y will be stored inside the z. Now, what happens? We'll look after this one. I'm going to place this one inside. So let's see what would be the result here. Let's plus add z. Okay. Now in this case, refresh the page. X greater than y. That means 21 greater than 22. If it is satisfied, then x value will be written, 21 will be written, but it returns 22. That means the condition fails. Okay, so a single line you can perform three values, operation on three values. This is the first value, the condition, or you can take any value instead of this to be a conditional oriented value. Okay, so let us suppose if I give 5, this is also valid. 5 is a true value. If this is true, then X will be produced. 21 I got. If I place 0, that means it is false. The condition is false. Then you will get a 22 value. Got it? This is a ternary operator. This is mostly used in now modern programming languages and more frameworks. Like React.js make use of this kind of conditional operator frequently, okay, in order to reduce the number of lines in the code. And this is the easiest way to represent some kind of statements. Okay, so that is about the operators.